Hello and welcome back to the Banter FC podcast, a show where we try so hard, but in the end, nothing really matters. I'm joined today by Nash and Joey on some side, one of the sides, I don't know, whatever.
We back!
We're supposed to start with Klopp's comments on the spending of big clubs, but apparently we're going to start with Arsenal. Do you guys want to start?
You should do the opening monologue never.
No, I don't have any.
Give us a pre, during, and post match analysis. What were your hopes going into the season?
I mean, so I didn't have hopes, right? I wanted like top 10 finish given the squad. But still, you know, you have that, like in the start of every season, you feel like, oh, my team's gonna, maybe they'll surprise me.
Yeah.
And they surprised me, right?
But also, if you had a pick of like which team you wanted to face on the first day, just to boost your confidence, this would be it,
Yeah,
right?
you couldn't ask for more than a side that is promoted. But Brentford did have a strong championship season, but still, man, like, I mean, last time we faced Fulham and we beat them 3-0, so that was a great opening day for us.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. And then, so our problem is systemic. It starts with the recruiting, but I think what's really scary now is Arteta has also lost the confidence of Aubameyang and Lacazette.
But what do you think? Like, it seems like every year it seems to be getting worse.
I think we're paying the price of sending Arsene Wenger away.
But you're asked for it.
Hey man, I didn't. Fuck off.
You did, right? But
No.
you said it was time for him to leave. It
Yeah,
was
but
time.
I didn't want him to go. Now look at us.
Yeah, but I think United was facing the same issue when Ferguson left. We've had
But United always had the funds, right? They were always getting players and stuff.
yes, I mean that's up for debate, but I think we've
I mean, you were not maybe getting all the players that you all wanted, but you still got players.
yeah.
We sold everyone.
What was the one thing?
Ramsey was so good. He scored in so many finals. We sold him. Ozil, who was supposed to be at the prime of his career, we fucked up with him. Aubameyang, I don't know. The minute he signed a contract, he sucked.
Sanchez also sold. Do you want to comment on that?
I mean, Sanchez we sold during the Wenger era, so I mean, that's okay.
Uh.
And anyways, it's not like he did anything great after that, but I don't know, it's so bad. Being an Arsenal fan is so hard, guys.
But what are your hopes for this season now, realistically?
I don't get relegated. I don't know. We're 20th now.
No, you're not 20th. Leeds is.
Brentford did play really well.
They played so amazing.
They did, yeah.
They were pressing, they were hungry, they were so good.
It didn't feel like a promoted team for sure.
Yeah, it didn't.
You think a lot of that is down to Arsenal?
That's
being
what I
Arsenal?
want to know. Like, is it like
No, so Brentford are a good team, right? And their striker, what's his
Tony?
name? Ivan
Tony.
Tony. Yeah. He's had a great season. He was really good, and it could have been 3 or 4-0 because you know he provided a couple of half assists that
Yeah.
could have been turned in. I mean, I can't imagine. We're so bad. We've spent 50 million on Ben White, who, yeah, okay, is a great defender, but if you look at his stats, anyways, he loses 50% of his aerial duels. So
but I feel your organization was really bad last game. It was like keeping talent aside, just the organization of your team and your players. Everyone just looked lost.
I don't know whether it's the tactics that are that bad or whether the players don't want to play for the manager anymore.
Already?
Right? Because, I mean, it's been 1.5 years, and initially when Arteta came in, everyone was on board with his project. Everyone played for him, and we played a very different system with the, like. It's worthwhile to remember when he came in, we were playing a more counter-attacking system, and now he's brought these defenders who play a high line, and it just doesn't work.
He's been trying to play a high line, but it's not been working
Since last season.
yeah.
But then a good manager would see that it's not working and change it as opposed to force the system on the players, right? Like that is what that is what you'd expect from a good manager. And
I also feel it's a little bit of everything. Like Arteta for sure has to take a part of the blame, but it's also your recruiting, it's also your owners,
yeah.
it's-
But honestly, look, the recruiting, the not having funds has been a problem for a while. And if we bitch and moan about that, our owners are not willing to sell. And it doesn't look like there's any serious buyer. Yes, there was talk about Daniel L talking about buying, but I feel like that was more of a PR stunt than anything else. Because if you're buying something, and especially if you're going to pay that much money to buy something, you don't come out in the press and make a noise about it. You do it on the side, right?
Yeah.
You don't, unless you want good PR for it, which it felt like he did. Maybe his intentions are great. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but when deals go through, they just go through. No one makes a noise about them before they go through.
Yeah.
Like Ings.
And-
Ings was such a surprise this season.
And yeah, right. Like it was such a surprise, and we'll come to that because it was great recruiting by Aston Villa. But yeah, man, coming to Arsenal, see, those are problems that have always been there. I think the only thing we can address as a fan base is that, you know, the manager isn't working out, the playing system is not working out. If the manager can change his playing system and adapt it to the players that he has, then great. But if he's not going to do that, then it's time. I mean, Arsenal will win the sack race this year. It does feel like that.
I think you'll have the same problem as United when Ferguson went, and as in you all are losing your identity now. Like you don't know your style of play anymore.
True, and yeah, I mean,
No,
there's
but
nothing we
that's-
can do to rectify that.
That's
We're
what
not-
way you hire the right manager to bring that back, right? So I think they thought that Arteta would be it because he's played for the club, he's worked under Guardiola to get his badges. But if it's not Arteta, if it's probably not recruitment because players are coming in, what is it that?
I think it's recruitment. See, I wouldn't agree with
It's
that.
definitely all of
Players
the
are coming in, but we're spending like eye-watering sums of money on shit players. Sorry, okay, wait, not shit players, but you know,
but
those players
basically
don't deserve to
overvalued.
be. Yeah, like overvaluing players way too much. Like Pepe is great, but he's not worth 72 million. Anyone will tell you that, right?
Yeah.
We overpaid for him. He wasn't like the club that he came from. Was it Lille?
Lille, yeah.
They weren't even asking for. No, I don't know if it was Lille, but the French club that he came from, they weren't even asking for that much money. We just overpaid for that. Same thing with Ben White now. 50 million for a centre back. Now, I understand that United paid 30 million for Varane, but Varane wanted to come to United, right? Because whatever, like United is a big club, prestige, and they're in the Champions League and all of that. But I'm saying, if they could pay 30 million for Varane, we had Saliba and we've sent him on loan, and we've bought Ben White for 50 million. That money could have been used to buy an attacking midfielder, which honestly we need. Yeah, so I would say recruiting is quite terrible. We've also fired our entire scouting division last year, so that is terrible. So the whole club is in shambles.
And then also recruitment
I'm gonna
because
start crying.
because they're a London club, they have this prestige of playing higher wages, which is a problem the United is having as well, to let go of players when they need to.
Do you think it's that? I think in terms of wages, no. I think for Arsenal, I understand why they have a high wage bill. It's because
You have to
when
attract-
they're going to players,
Yeah.
they can't offer them anything, right? We've been out of the Champions League for what 4-5 years. We don't finish very high, and you know what can we give them except for the fans will love you, and the Arsenal fan base is so toxic. Tomorrow they'll change on you, and you know the only thing they can give them is high wages, and thankfully our wage bill is still not as high, but that's more because we cannot afford to pay them that wages. Like you guys, your wage bills are insane.
I think every player, if they miss the Champions League, that's their only sales pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, most often.
offering them money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So Arsenal's thing is systemic. It's top down. We're quite screwed, and we'd be lucky to finish in the top 10. I just hope we don't get relegated.
One question I wanted to ask you was like, for all these years, we knew that Arsenal was like this top tier London team, right? Do you think Chelsea has surpassed you all now?
Easily. So we talk about how Arsenal's top tier and all of that, but Chelsea now have won almost the same amount of.
But I still
Leagues.
feel you all have a much broader fan base than Chelsea. Even
Might
though-
be the case, but even that is changing. That's dwindling. The fan base is so toxic that I don't know. It doesn't matter if we have a bigger fan base. The prestige has dropped anyway. So I would say Chelsea. I mean, to win the Champions League and now the Super League.
Yeah.
How can you say Chelsea is not the biggest club in London?
But toxic fan base is like, it's there in every club, right?
I feel like Arsenal's way more tough
Really, I think it's just like the rough patch all are going through.
for the last.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long. But I think that's what's frustrating the fans. You know, they want to see at least some form of positive
Dude,
intent from the.
I don't know
owners.
what, like the whole of last season, it looked like it was changing, right? And like that United game was, and that was the last time we did the podcast, but that United game also was quite good. And until then, we were okay. And then suddenly after that, with this Arteta, I think it went so wrong so
Yeah.
fast that now it's like, okay, I mean, yeah, we could let him go, pray that Conte comes to us. But I feel like we're in that situation where that Spurs were in, where every manager was just saying no.